Hey guys, this is Stephanie
And this is Gio.
and we're Venue 22. I just want to say thank you guys for all the support and love that you guys have shown Venue 22. Thank you for touring with us. Thank you for booking with us. And thank you for letting us be a part of your moments.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys. If you guys have hosted with us, definitely give us some Google reviews, drop a like in the comments, let everyone know the experience you guys felt with us. It's very important that, our clients have a great beginning, middle, and end, not just at the event, but also the experience of booking the event itself too. So that's what we strive for to do here. And appreciate you guys. If you guys tune into episode 1, this is episode 2. So we're going to deep dive a little bit into some of the fears, the doubts that we had internally, externally, friends and family, business-wise, little situation like that, just so you guys can get a back-end part of what it is that it takes to get over the hump of the fears and the doubts. I think we can start off with basically, because we were searching a lot, and then when we announced it, we felt like that was the first hurdle to get over with, like just announcing it besides me and her looking for the place to our family and friends.
When it came to our family, honestly, they were very surprised. But I think inside, I felt that they were kind of relief that one of us in their family, both family, we took a step of doing something that we said that we wanted to do as business, because everybody had different ideas. They wanted to open restaurants. They wanted to invest in different things. And then we actually were one of the first ones that said, we got this. We're going to do this.
A lot of our families have brought up a lot of different ideas, but, I think a big thing for us was that we executed early on and created that wave for everybody else to start their journeys as well, too, that we think that a lot of people get caught up in the parts of the fear before they start something. And I think what mitigated our fears for us, we did a lot of research. She was pregnant at the time when we were doing a lot of the research, and we knew we had a low, middle, and high end of the rent, how much it was going to cost us, the location itself, how much space we were looking for, and then our budget. And a combination of those 3 things, we kind of honed ourselves in okay, well, this is the sweet spot. And if we find a place that's in between, still works for us. If we find a place that's a little bit higher, still works for us. But we got to stay within that range. We knew where our range was, and it was just to find something that was adequate. And if you tune into episode 1, you found out that, Gio approved, but it wasn't because of me. It was mainly because we already had a plan of something that had to fall within that guideline. I think that helped mitigate a lot of the fear for us. And
we did go a little bit over our budget with Venue 22, but it was more that we said it was okay. It was Gio approved, just because we didn't really have to do so many things to the venue. We went to see a different other location.
You found a whole project. The place was gutted. The things were hanging off ceilings, and the pictures you showed me, I was just like, we got to spend at least $40,000 just to get this place up and going. And you were like, but I have a dream.
Anyway, but that's why we talked about it. I'm like, listen, we're going to have to do something to a location to make it our way, to make it our vision. We were okay on investing a little bit more in that.
Yeah, we essentially found a turnkey location. Because of it being turnkey, we ended up paying more for the rent itself of it, more than what we wanted, but it was literally right at the edge of our max. And before we signed everything, I know that was our first fear where I was looking at you, I was like, it's the highest that we calculated. What this means, right? It's going to be stressful. We're going to have to look for this money consistently.
And I was like, we got this.
I'm the logical one. So my fears only come from the numbers not adding up. So it really mitigates a lot with me internally, because I do have a lot of worries, but my worries are always, they push down once I see the numbers and things are adding up, which is why I pivot so often. That's one thing I do advise all business owners: when you're in a situation, pivot. Don't be stuck and think that this is the only way to getting there. Don't change the goal, but change the path, and you'll find a way. That's something that
the thing is that I just feel like we were right there, and then we started having a couple doubts, and I'm like, that's not going to win. We already spoke about it. We already saw what we wanted it to do to the place. We already, there's no turning back.
She's talking about doubts, but the doubts were that when we got there, the floors weren't done. We had to invest money of our oh shit funds to fix the floors. Well, not fix them, but add them, because I wasn't there. But if you heard episode 1, we talked about Chris. We met him a couple months prior. He did the floors in our house, and then we had that contact. So then that made that transition to add the floors pretty easy. Again, we were moving in faith more than logic a little bit. But, we knew God had gave us the place. He found the spot for us. And we knew that moving forward with God, it would be the right thing to do for us and for the success ultimately. But yeah, like, that really, once the floors were in and the little things like getting in the fridge, getting the bar added.
Oh, that's another thing. Like that bar was handmade.
Yeah. She found the guy on Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you, Facebook.
He
He
drove,
did an amazing job.
set up everything. I gave him the measurements to the phone and he came in and put everything in. That was cool. Yeah. I remember I had to just do a couple little alterations after the people were using it at the party that I was like, okay, well, in order for things to last longevity for us, you always got to make a little bit of tweaks. But, it still worked out amazing. People love it. People love the aesthetics. People love the fridge. We want that also on discount too. It was like
Lowe's.
Yeah, Lowe's gave. Yeah, and again, I feel like everything we found that was perfect for the spot was like a God-given sent thing. Like, here you go. Yeah, we had to spend a little bit of money, and we learned some lessons, like the tables.
That table. Listen, that was like the biggest learning, the tables. So I ordered the tables. I was very excited. They were plastic. They were supposed to be foldable. So when it got there, it was like already falling apart.
Yeah, the screws were coming off. I remember I was opening a couple of them and seeing the screws, thinking, "Oh, I got to build these." And then when I popped a couple of them open and shook them, like the screws just came out, and I'm just like, "No, they're coming off the plastic." I'm like, "They're not even bolted on here." And then I sent her a picture. I was like, "These ain't gonna work." They had just arrived that day. We put the order to return that same day too.
And the next day, the UPS driver, I guess he saw that he was going to come back to the location to pick up all those boxes. He canceled.
I said, I don't want to go pick that up. So
they sent somebody else.
We had to wait maybe 2 extra hours and somebody else came. I helped them. So I helped them carry everything. It was cool. It wasn't too bad. And then we ordered the ones
that we have now. They're amazing.
Yeah.
I love them.
I think a lesson there was, pay for the things that you want to last because, we're going to be having events back to back. Thank God we've had over 50 events at this point. So. Amen. And the tables are, they're still lasting. They're still beautiful. They're still going. And hopefully they're there for another 500 more to go. So yeah, so you're going to learn lessons. Don't be afraid to pivot. The doubts are going to be there consistently. That's something that I feel like no matter how much we pivot, you're still going to doubt yourself eventually. Like, you're human and no one's perfect. Like I just pivoted recently with some of our sales tactics for her.
Listen, this guy, he just be changing up things on me. I'm the type of person that I like to have everything in order. Sometimes he's like, hey, I need you to go do this tour. And I'm like, didn't you just change this package or this policy yesterday? I was like, I'm not ready yet. I need to study it. He's like, babe, but it's right there. I'm like, no, you go do it. I need to practice because I'm the type of person, maybe because my background of my job now, that is just, you go to a meeting, you have to be prepared. You just have to know what you're talking about. And I'm the type of person that if we are going to have a conversation, I need to have my priorities and things straight. Like, we're not just going to swing it.
And you're learning how to swing it. So that's the thing, the biggest thing when it comes to pivoting so often. You got to be able to swing as much as possible. Our engine we're still figuring out the engine. And there's things that I'm constantly tweaking so that the engine can move at its most optimum level. That's my biggest thing. It has to be optimized so that it's efficient. There is areas for opportunities, your favorite word. And I look for those areas as much as possible so that things can become more efficient, easier. Again, this is just me and her running at the show. Like, there's nobody there. We don't have a camera crew. We got 2 iPhones set up right now. Like, I made these lights out of like Walmart materials in college. Like, we're pretty crafty, but it's just 2 of us, and we have a child. He's 1 and 4 months, so we don't have teams of people in the back end. It may seem that way because we do a good job of maintaining that way. We are professional at the end of the day. Don't get us wrong. We do have systems in place. That's something that I always wanted to have in the beginning. I told her, I'm like, we work for Fortune 500 companies. Why not steal some of the things that they do and apply for our businesses? One advice I give everybody, like, if you're working a 9 to 5, like they're doing something in that 9 to 5 that you can take it to your own business and apply it and double down. My first programming job, they do a lot of backups of the data. They do a lot of backups of storages and 3 different locations. When I was doing photography, I took that backup system and I started making my SD cards just go into my laptop and backed up in 3 different drives. Like, I borrowed a long-term borrowed an idea that really helped me in my side hustle, which eventually became a side business. But all those little things that I've picked up in different places, I've been applying it right here to the business.
You gained that knowledge.
Yeah.
Better.
It sounds better, gain knowledge. I just started my job Monday and I texted her Thursday, like, because I was going through onboarding, and the business is really cool. They actually opened up the books and they talked about like their finances, what they are looking to do, I don't know, how the money is brought into the business and like their cash flow, which was nice because there's 3 videos of cash flow, and I'm like, oh, we don't have a cash flow problem, but I want to optimize it. I texted her, I was like, I think I solved it. I'm like, I'm watching this video and they gave me the answer.
Oh my, I was just like, oh my God. I was like, we'll talk about it later. And I love that about him. Like, he learns things outside and then he shares it. Sometimes I'm like, oh my God, but then it works out.
Yeah, so back to the pivoting. Don't be afraid to pivot. The answers are gonna come. And honestly, that's been a question I've been asking, like, God and myself, like, how am I gonna solve this? What's the best way to do it? And it took me to start a new job, well, my old new job now, to get the answer by watching an onboarding video on their platform. So, yeah, the answers are gonna come from anywhere and everywhere, but just don't stop yourself from gaining that opportunity. That's one thing I keep telling her. We only get to say yes and no throughout our days, and God is going to put the opportunity behind a yes or no, and you have to make the right choices. And if you don't, guess what? You get to loop around until the opportunity comes up again, and then you got to make a yes or a no again.
Yeah, and I think that's something that I have gained more understanding in 2022, of being a little bit more patient. If something doesn't work out, try to find a solution just to get it done and move on. I feel like I'm doing better of not over stressing and not over controlling. Well, I'm always going to over control a little bit, but I'm doing better. I'm getting there. My 2026 is just.
She has on her vision board, no stress. I want to see how long that lasts.
Yes, no, I'm not going to stress. You better not let me stress.
Oh, it's my job now. I'm going to blame the vision board every time it's my job. But like, the vision board isn't doing its job. It's not doing its magical vision board job voodoo that it's supposed to do.
I'm stressing. You stressing.
Oh, I'm always stressed. So family was really supportive. They're still supportive today. We thank our families 1,000 times. They're when we have tours and we have to split up, like they're here to watch our son, our nieces. Thank you. We appreciate you guys 1,000-fold. For instance, tomorrow we have a meeting with the town council, which we're going to do together, but she has tours. So thank God we got tours too. So
I'm excited. It's a busy week, and
yeah, you got 2 tours a day for the next 4 days or 5 days straight. Yeah, I think you got 3 and a couple of them.
We'll be there.
Yeah, we're here. So, so like I said, like it's pretty tricky, and this is our first winter season. So we're setting up a little bit in the back end, getting ready for the summer season, which we started in April. So we got a chance to see all that. And, I call it guerrilla warfare. Like, I'm just constantly figuring out what's the best tactic to do real fast, real quick to get results back. So the summer was a lot of that, but I want to really go into this summer with less fear of like, I have to get sales in so we can pay the rent, and more of, okay, how can we double down and triple down and create systems in place so that, maybe next summer after that, 2027, we're pulling away and creating jobs for other people. That's the ultimate goal too, create jobs for other people. But hopefully with tomorrow, everything works smooth in our favor, and we never know. Things might pivot again with the business strategy. Like I hope, everything's going to play out the way it needs to, but you got to keep just knocking on the door and asking for permission to walk in. I was listening to someone, I didn't mention it to you, but I was listening to, I forget who it was, but they were like, if you're not getting blessed, it's because you're not asking for nothing. Those who ask receive. And I was just like, damn, that hit me so hard. I'm just like, I'm gonna start asking for everything. Because even that is kind of free for to ask. Like, you're afraid to ask for certain things, but if you really want to put in the work, and I think that's what I did this a couple of days ago too. Like, I haven't had to go to work in the morning for like 6 months now, which is, it's a blessing to be around my son. I appreciate that. But now I'm starting work, and the past week I was driving, and the morning drives always have these moments of like self-motivation. And I was just like, I've constantly been working like all my life at this point. And I'm just like, you know what? I have to accept it. I think this life for me is about building and working and constantly going at it. Thank God this was the first weekend that I would thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. I was able to sleep in, and it reminded me of like when we first met. Like, I was sleeping on the weekends. It's like 2:00, and I was like, but it would recharge my battery. So I'm ready to go this week. Like, I'm worried about, like, I don't feel like I'm running on E like last week. This week I feel like I'm like, whatever comes, let's go.
They say marriage is sometimes 80-20.
Or 10-90 or 50-50.
We ain't 50-50 over here.
It changes as we go. That's okay. But the constant thing is that, one of us is always there to hold the other one down and up. Okay, we'll go with that. So we got over a lot of fears, external, internal. And then the day to days, honestly, like things are gonna pop up whether you plan for them or not. Like we just got hit with this one crazy gas bill that we're just like, what the heck? Like,
Yeah. Yeah, they're gonna go check it out tomorrow.
yeah, because it was like, I don't know, I don't either there's a gas leak or something, or the thing is not reading properly, but I've never seen a gas bill that high in my life. Even the lady on the phone was like, yeah, that's very odd. And I'm just like, it is, right? Because I was already getting ready to like throw pushback, like, hey, our house that's running all day, every day, it doesn't do it. She was like, no, 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 it's fine. We're gonna send a guy. We're gonna freeze this here and there. I'm just like, all right,
You just gotta pay attention to your
yeah,
day to day.
exactly. You got to stay on top of things. Shout out to Honeybook. That's our back end system. She loves it now. Before she was having it.
I doubted you, Honeybook, but now I believe in you. I love you.
Yeah. If anyone wants, I can send you guys the link. I'll tag it into the YouTube. I believe they're doing 30% off right now. So hit us up. You can support and you can like us that way too.
Maybe we sponsor and we don't know it.
Hey, Riverside sent me a sponsorship thing too, and I was just like, I guess because they saw a business email. But Riverside, yeah, you're a little tricky. I'm not gonna lie, but the video app that I'm using right now to record, it's a little tricky. But I do like the convenience that I don't have to pull out my DSLR to record everything and edit in Premiere. Last time we had some technical difficulties glitch. This time we still have some technical difficulties, but we fixed it. By the way, if you click audio on your app and then load the screen and get out and come back in, it stays on audio with your screen showing you like video.
So we did the whole broadcast and yeah.
It recorded only the audio.
Take 4.
And even though it showed me the video, when I saved everything, it only recorded audio. A little glitch in the back end there. So hopefully you guys fix it. But so far I've had a great experience with the whole process and the editing and uploading. So I'll give you guys that credit too and appreciate the link. We'll sign up later. Yeah, that's our little infomercial. Yeah. So now, like I was saying earlier, you got to pivot, go with the fear, even the doubts. As long as your numbers are adding up, you know you're what you're capable of doing. Our numbers added up, but we still bumped into things that we couldn't foresee. I went back to work. I went back to work Monday to help with some of the financing because, yeah, we're surviving, but we want to start thriving. And in order to do so, we're going to have to make a little bit of changes. And one of them is me going back to work. And I know they say that this thing has been circling around that, there's in a couple, there's one that works the 9 to 5, the corporate job, that was the dreamer. But sometimes both of you guys have to work the 9 to 5 and then throw the dream also on the side too, on top of it. So we're juggling everything, being new parents, running a business, both working 9 to 5s. And both of our jobs are pretty intense. It's not like we get to sit around and just chill. Yeah. It's a juggle, and you're going to have to find whatever balance that is. But if you really want it, you really, find yourself deserving of it, you're going to make it work, and you have to make it work. There's no alternative. We don't really have a plan B, or it's either we make it or we don't, and we're going to make it.
There's no option.
Yeah. Personal fears, myself, being a new dad, husband as well. I don't want to fail in either aspects, and I want to do my best that I can. My dad raised me really well, and I have some pretty big shoes to fill. So shout out to my dad. Appreciate you. But I want to do as much as I can for my son, for my wife, for our marriage, for our relationship, for our business. So there's no book for it. Like, there's no book for perfect marriage. There is books, but it doesn't make sense. Like, there's no marriage book that's going to solve anything that we're going through. I think the biggest thing is communication, which we're good at. We over communicate a lot, but there definitely is no parent book, like how to handle your child. Like, there's no custom Jackson and Gio and Steph book. We're just making it along as we go. So, my personal biggest fears is, failing in those aspects while also trying to achieve the things that we need for us. But, with God by our side, in front of us, behind us, covering the whole 360, we'll get there. We'll do the things that we need to do.
No, and I'm thankful for everything that you have done before going back to work, because you did an amazing job setting up things for me to make it more efficient, to me juggle around being a mom, went to work, went to the venue. So yeah, you'll always be my IT guy.
Yeah, that's never going away. Shout out again to Honeybook out there, automating the process for the invoicing and the brochures, like the proposals. Like, it's a really beautiful system that's allowed us to, one, set up the business automated wise so that 2 people can run it, 1 person can run it. And then 2, it allows us for scaling. So when we do get our 3rd, 4th, and 5th location.
Preach it.
Hey, clock it. Shout out to our nieces. The system is just, let's duplicate right over into applying these things. We've done a lot of SEO homework our own selves, which still feeling proud of. Like I figured that out too, which is okay for us. Definitely recommend that everyone tries to do their own SEO thing before they pay anybody out there. No offense to anyone that's out there collecting SEO money. I hate forte to you. I'm just saying that business owners should know where they're spending their money in and what they're investing in, and they should know the tools before they pass it along to somebody else. Then shout out to RingCentral too. I'm not gonna lie, we haven't had any issues with RingCentral. All our phones, all our calls, our text messages, everything has been smooth. I didn't like the setting up the text part, but everything else after that has been smooth. So yeah, so those are our systems that we have in the back end. Like, we use HoneyBook, RingCentral for the calls. We have Google Workspace, that gets us our emails and everything included. A lot of free tools in there. I would definitely recommend those. And then yeah, all the tools, all the research or the homework alleviates a lot of the doubts, a lot of the fears. But at the end of the day, you have to execute it. You got to take action and move forward with it. So I think that's the biggest key takeaway if anyone's listening. I hope that someone's listening. Believe in yourself, believe in your dreams, believe in your goals. Don't change the goal, change the path. Pivot constantly. Keep doing homework, keep doing research, reach out to people out there that are doing the things that you want to do already, and, get a mentor, find a mentor. We were dying to find one. And I found one by accident on New Year's. We're still in communications. It's not such an easy thing. Let me just say that too. That's not an easy thing to always find, but if you can, that's probably the best thing that I think I would recommend. And yeah, those are my 2 cents. You wanna drop some 2 cents in there?
Yeah, I think you spoke for both of us.
Oh, thank you, little heart. Wait. How is it that they do that? Because this is the old way, Heart. This is the old way. Yeah. No, this is like another one where it's like some weird thing. I don't know. Yeah.
Let's make our own, baby. I don't know.
Heart. Yeah, so stay tuned for episode 3. Episode 3 is going to be all about the venue, all right? The ins and outs, the day-to-days. I think, episode 1 and 2 was good for you guys to understand who's running the show in the back end, a little bit of Stephanie, a little bit about myself, our backgrounds. We're not these perfect people. We're regular people. We breathe air, we eat food, we drink water just like anybody else. And, we're just 2 humble people, 2 parents, husband and wife, just trying to make it in this world with accomplishing our dreams, mainly her dream. This is her dream. I'm just the
became yours too.
I'm the IT person in the back ends. I'm trying to uplift my wife as much as possible. For all the married men out there, please give me some advice. Drop it in the comments. Message us. I need all the help as possible. Not because of her, just because I'm still new at this, and it's not. You put me in a really good movie. That they had like the mentorship with all the guys, and it was like a religious movie. The Forge.
Okay.
With the Word of God and things like that. You don't remember. She puts me on so
many movies.
Yeah, but that was a really good movie, and I think that's necessary and needed still in this time. For our community to come as men together and women together as well too, so we can help each other out and uplift each other.
I told you to do a little group for all men to come together.
I'm working on it.
I gave him that idea last year,
and I'm working on it. Y'all know who we are. I text and call you guys every single time. We just haven't come up with a specific date and time to continue meeting.
Because there's like mom groups and stuff like that, but something that I don't see in the Lehigh Valley is a dad group or a brotherhood.
See that? You see, you guys are slacking on me now because I see, like, I'm holding it down in the chats and everything, and now she's thinking that I'm not uplifting on that side. Come on, we got to show off now. Now we got to show off. So stay tuned for episode 3. Like, share, comment. Let us know what you like, what you don't like. We'll take the criticism. We're okay with that. We want to make sure we provide some good feedback and content for you guys to watch and, follow with us on this journey. And yeah, appreciate it. Ready? Want to clap it out? That's our own tradition thing.